Good morning, kids, and welcome back to another video of Fox Clicks on Pragmatic. Today we're checking out reacting to your Mega Evolutions. Well, anyway, we're here to check out what Brandon has thought of everyone's Mega Evolution that was sent into him. Let's go.
Hey everyone, Brandon here. And in the month of May, I hosted a challenge for you guys to submit your ideas for Mega Pokemon we could possibly see in Pokemon Legends EA, for a chance to have it featured on the channel. So, this is that video. So I'm going through and highlighting some of my favorite Megas that I saw from this challenge. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be giving some more information about the challenge I'm hosting in June. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And first up, we have a fantastic start with VCreate who made Mega Baxcalibur. I freaking love this idea so much. Taking the blade out of its back and wielding it is so awesome. Plus, it gets a new ability called Thermal Meltdown, where it has stab for fire-type moves, but loses an eighth of its health each time it uses one. I just adore this concept, having a Fire-Ice Dragon type all at the same time, I mean, with a little bit of a sacrifice on the fire-type end. Baxcalibur had these little things that goes over its hands, and they just really never made sense to me as a design element, but Vic managed to make them look a little bit more cohesive with this design.
Also, it kind of reminds me of, like, Burning Godzilla.
Also, these steam clouds coming out from the middle of its, like, fire and ice maw is just so cool and gives that very much like a Mega Charizard X energy to it. Next, also from Vic, is Mega Vivillon. Or is it Vivian? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. I'm just going to say Vivillon for now, so don't crucify me.
It looks like each one of its wings is taken from another one of its evolutions. Well, different patterns. But I know it's just like rainbow.
Either way, this Mega is just chef's kiss. With Vivillon having so many different forms based on the real-life location that you found it at, this is just such a perfect conglomeration of all those different forms. Also, with basically having a second and third set of butterfly wings on the bottom that come out of these little strands of its wings, it's just incredible. Vic did such a fantastic job with these Megas that I literally changed the rules of the video that I had placed on myself. I initially was only going to feature one Mega per artist, but this just convinced me that I needed to do at least two. And it honestly really helped me out because there were so many Megas that I just could not decide between. And we have yet another Mega Vivillon by Zebra Knight 1. This one takes a different approach, which
Oh, dude, wait, no, that actually looks awesome!
think is so unique and interesting, in which they take the patterns from the different wings of the Vivillon and make it into a globe, which references Vivillon's patterned wings being from around the globe. It's such an interesting take to use the pattern of the wings to make a map. It also comes together to reference the Titan Atlas. Just a fantastic mixture of concepts that I really enjoy. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And if you're feeling extra generous, make sure to hit that join button. Membership...
I honestly thought that he was making some new Mega Evolutions, but still, this is
really helps out the channel, and you get benefits like seeing videos early, a shout out at the end of my videos, and the RMH tier directly pays for one fake bond a month that you're credited for and receive a high quality image of. So make sure to hit that join button and help support this channel even further. Next, from Builder Bob, we have Mega Golurk. I'm a huge Golurk fan, so this automatically made me happy just for having this in the contest. But this form makes it Psychic ground type, and it's like energy that it was fueled off of is kind of like ascending to a new level, and that's why it has the Psychic type. The idea of it like shedding its body and becoming this ethereal being of pure psychic energy, I just love that idea. Yet another Mega from Builder Bob is Mega Garganacl. I love Garganacl. It is literally one of my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon, so getting a Mega Evolution that's Rock Fire type is so cool to me. I like how it has this almost Howl's Moving Castle-esque appeal to it, in my opinion. Keeping up with the ghost types, we have Mega Dusknoir by Mark Fakemon. One small aspect of this design
they gave him legs!
that I just love is that it grew legs. Like, Dusknoir didn't have legs before, but kind of like borrowed the legs from Dusclops in this form. And also this big gaping maw that it has with this like segmented tongue. It's so cool looking. It's Ghost Dark type now, which definitely fits. I just feel like this thing's like a terrifying monster you would not want to be in front of with that.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Mouth is open at you.
Sorry about that. I was I was yawning and there was an ad.
The mouths on its shoulders are also open, so this thing is just like open mouth central. It's like Mega Dusknoir is a mouth breather for sure. Jokes aside, this design really comes together well. And we have yet another Mega Dusknoir from Creative Chaos 28. And if you thought the last one was open mouth central, this one is just a mouth. It's just a mouth. Which I should note has a big glowing eye in the middle of it. This design harkens back to like G-Max Gengar and even Mega Gengar in my mind, while feeling like Haunter and Ghastly all at the same time despite none of that line existing here. This one is also Ghost Dark type, but the category, I
The
know what you were
Grippo
going for,
Pokemon.
but it's the Gripper Pokemon. I just literally cannot think of anything but like grippers as in feet. The
Yeah.
internet has soiled my brain there.
Yeah,
Next up from
unfortunately.
Popley, we have Mega
Oh!
Toadscroll, which is a ground psychic type. I found this to be such an
It looks almost like some kind of missile or rocket.
interesting twist because this is a mega version of a regional fake Pokemon, or convergent Pokemon as the community calls them. And it yet again transforms the concept
actual
of what
term.
this Pokemon is. Like
Convergent.
it went from a jellyfish to a toadstool to now it's like a UFO mixed with a rocket ship mixed with like an alien. It's crazy.
It is
Also, there's like
indeed
an
crazy.
in-cap mushroom thrown in there as well. Just a hodgepodge of different design inspirations that come together seamlessly. And that's honestly
Yeah,
the
not
exact kind of
bad.
fake mon I would make, so I just love this. Next up from Raidmon, we have Mega Decidueye, which I just love Decidueye so much that I had to include this. I love how swooshy and how like just like cloud-like its feathers are, and
It's very
it just almost looks like a dark
swoosh.
rain cloud. It just feels very long, flowy, like knowledgeable owl, that kind of ancient wise owl feeling to it, kind of like the owl from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I can't remember its name off the top of my head. After that, from
Nor can I,
MJTJ
but I
Arts,
know
we
what
have
you're talking
Mega
about.
Sylvally, and I adore this concept. Taking Sylvally and making it more Arceus-like through Mega Evolution works so well, and it's just such an intuitive idea.
That's
like,
good.
of course, through Mega Evolution would this thing get closer to the thing it was created to replicate, and making it pretty dang close to it.
Becomes closer to God.
As strong as Arceus with that 670 BST. After that, from Zavzav, we
Ah!
have Mega Shuckle,
It's
and
a
this
cannon.
thing would be a terror. A lot of people commented when I talked about giving Shuckle an evolution that giving it an extra 100 to his BST would be crazy. And Zazav put 100 into the attack stat, so this thing would be bulky as heck with an attack stat that would actually do a good amount of damage. They also suggested giving it Skill Link Rock Blast, which would be insane.
Oh, boy.
Design-wise, I really like how it's just kind of like a
To explain what Skill Link is, it makes whatever attack you use go the max. So like how some attacks can only go 2 to 5, every time you use it, it goes for the 5. Always the 5.
cannon, which I feel is a natural evolution to the kind of like holes that are all throughout Shuckle's body. Next, we have a very unique
Damn.
entry with Mega Minior by Puntomons, which, as you can see moving on our screen, it's animated, which is such a unique entry. I love this so much. Like, not only is it of Minior, which is a
That
Pokemon
is
I feel a lot of
crazy.
people forget about, but it's animated, it's moving, look at it! Here's the design not in motion, and it's still such a great
thank
design.
you.
It's like the eye of a star just in the middle of this like kind of asteroid field. I will say that it branches from Minior quite a bit in its design, but it's so unique and interesting that I had to include it. Next,
yeah,
from Max
totally.
Fakebun, we have Mega Talonflame.
They gave him goggles.
I love this design. I love it so much. It's so freaking cool. It's just so quintessentially Mega Pokemon. I don't know how to describe it. It gives the feeling of Mega Pidgeot while also feeling like its own thing, like this kind of diver bomb bird deer. Oh, whoops. Never mind. I can feel that this Pokemon is just all in on speed. This thing is a speedster, and I love that. Hence its like kind of like
Gotta go
goggle-like
fast.
eyes. Its little tail feathers also kind of feel like Zapdos to me, which I know this is supposed to be like a fire type bird, but kind of evoking that legendary bird feeling with this Mega. Next
Oh,
up
yeah.
from Sandwich Jack, we have Mega Swalot.
Damn.
And this I just had to include because it just feels
It's mustache.
exactly like what a Mega Swalot would be.
It
It's
can
just
just go,
big, it has a little slight change in its color, which kind of evokes its shiny form. It's got these big, like whisker fists with the kind of spines along its back. It almost feels like a Paradox Pokemon, but it's perfect. It's literally, once again, quintessential Mega Pokemon. Feels exactly what
It
Mega
is
Swalot
nice.
would be. After that, from Mod Maniac, we have Mega
Whoa, what the-
Genesect, which is insane looking. This thing is the most
That is crazy. Look at that. Zap Cannon, Blast Ball, Dry
crazy
Freeze.
looking contraption I've seen. It's gone full like technology. It almost feels like Generator Rex or something. It
Oh
also
my
has
God,
the
it
shoulder
does.
pads that are kind of like Q-Rim, so I'm not sure if there's supposed to be some kind of interaction there, but very much evokes that same kind of feeling. Maybe it's trying to fuse with other Pokemon or something. I don't know. So I
Mhm.
just looked, and it's actually
love
just a
Genesect.
conglomeration of a bunch of different Pokemon. Q-Rim, Keldeo, Reshiram, and Zekrom. It's like a
Oh,
bug,
damn.
centaur, dragon technology thing. It's an amalgamation of just the most wild things put together, and I just love that.
Yeah.
And from Odd Designs, we have Mega
Whoa,
Gothitelle.
that
As they
is-
say in the post, Gothitelle is kind of like a Gardevoir equivalent, so like it
That
getting a
is
Mega just kind of makes
something.
sense. Plus, I love how top-heavy this design is. I mean, regular Gothitelle is a very bottom-heavy design, but this one just really brings it all up
Yeah.
top, which also mirrors
This is
Mega Gardevoir
strange.
really well, considering that is also a very bottom-heavy design. All in all, it's a very perfect Mega for Gothitelle. Keeping up with the girly pops from Apparently Bears,
Oh,
we have
my.
Mega Sarina. It's grass ghost type now, and I just love the new fit that it's rocking.
I like
mean,
that.
before we had kind of like a poofy skirt and the boot combo with Sarina, but this one, it almost feels like blood red juice is flowing down its waist and onto its arms, which just so fits the ghost type, kind of that allusion to blood without it actually directly being blood, because, you know, it's Pokemon,
Like
it's
a
kid's game.
vampire.
And this new elegant crown it's rocking with this long ponytail like vine coming from its head is just so elegant. According to Apparently Bears, they really wanted to focus on the Tsar part of its name, so really evoking that Slavic royalty feeling, which I feel it definitely does with the coloration. That kind of muted green and blood red really feels that way to me. And keeping up with that kind of royal theme, we have Mega Aromatisse from Mangucon. Taking the original
Come on now.
goofiness it had to its design and just kind of Marie Antoinetting it up. This is most definitely the let them eat
The
cake Pokemon.
son of a gun, I was gonna make the same joke.
Here for another girly pop, we have
Damn
Mega
you.
Clefable, which is based on the Sailor Moon Sailor Scouts. This just works so well. The moon-related
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon tying in Sailor Moon is just perfect and fits so well on Clefable's design. I mean, look at this. It just feels like a natural evolution of Clefable's already existing design elements.
Oh, yeah,
I was so
completely.
excited about the design, I forgot to talk about the artist. This is by Tathamond or Tathamand. Excuse me if I mispronounced that, but they did some amazing work here. And yet another Mega Clefable comes to us from Kaifun Art. This one is actually Fairy Dragon type, which I
Ooh.
think is such an interesting development to Clefable's design. Like the last
Okay.
design, it kind of has that superhero feeling to it while adding in these draconic elements, kind of more like goofy draconic elements, like Dragonite or something.
I was gonna
Kaifun
say, like,
also
huh.
did this Mega
Whoa.
Shift Tree, which is
Oh, look, they just made him taller. Just
another chef's kiss. It just has a full Tengu moment while adding in this autumnal feeling, and its eyebrows almost emulate like a torii, like a Japanese, like those red gates you see.
Oh,
it also
he's
kind
right.
of
It
reminds me
does.
of One Piece, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Next up from
Nah, it wasn't reminding me of One Piece. It was reminding me of more of Naruto. Oh, Jiraiya, that guy.
Snack with Hat, we have Mega Mousehold, and this one was just too funny to not include. Just a Mousehold overwhelmed by the amount of children that they have. How they're gonna put food on the table, I don't know. The way they're holding a Chesto Berry to help them with sleep because they have these thick bags under their eyes. They haven't gotten enough sleep. They have too many kids. This is all just a mess. Next from Dan or Dandy Fakemon, we have Mega Carbink. This design
Oh
is so
my.
simple and so effective. I do love this little wisp of like fabric that goes around the design. It adds a nice touch to it, but honestly, I don't even think you need it with all the other elements that are at play in this design. And before people say anything, yes, I know the ribbon is there because Diancie also has ribbons. Like simply
Yes.
changing the base from rocks and crystals to full-on crystal, then adding this kind of flowy, almost feathery, like shouldering that it has to make it feel like kind of like a paladin or knight of some sort. It is quite
like a
literally
royal
the
butler.
perfect answer to Mega Diancie. Just so good. Then we have Mega Hisuian Typhlosion from Art with
It looks like he's wearing a pompadour that's too big.
Alfred, which is a design after my own heart, considering we did those Mega regional forms a bit back, with Mega Hisuian Typhlosion being on that list. But I love the different direction that he went with this, kind of turning it almost into like a zombie of flame. It's almost like this ghostly flame is taking over its mind and to do its bidding, whatever that bidding may be. I just love when simple design changes can still tell a story. Also from Art with Alfred, another
come
design
on.
after my own heart, Mega Registeel. I just made a Mega Evolutions video, as well as we've had the dual type Regis video, so a natural step in that direction would be Mega Regis. So if you want to see that
Yeah.
full video, make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. Mega Registeel keeps its steel typing, but is based on ferrofluid, so it's got these kind of spikes coming in and out of its body.
Oh.
I really like the idea of
Steel
ferrofluid
water
being
type.
introduced into this design and changing it up just a slight bit. Next from the Red Dragon nerd who worked with Anart
Look at this thing! Dude is pimped out in the gold!
Just to stray, we have Mega Corviknight. Taking a Night Pokemon, Mega evolving it, and then it becomes a King Pokemon. Perfect. While the
Yeah,
design
that's
itself
a
feels
chef's
a little
kiss
bit
for
more
me.
complicated, the changes are actually pretty simple. Adding in the gold elements, this kind of extra white frill, and the crown, it's a few simple changes that make all the difference. It harkens back to G-Max Corviknight while still being its own thing. Continuing in our simple yet effective design changes, we have Mega Heliolisk from Ambrose Celeste. It adds a new pattern to its neck frills, kind of turning them into more diamonds than triangles, as well as adds this kind of sun homage to it, like the frill on its back. To me, it feels very much like what Mega Heliolisk might look like.
It is pretty
Check
good.
out these
That's
de-
an ad. We'll be right back. And we're back.
Funny, we have Mega Togekiss. It's very
Ooh,
dragon type
another
and is
fairy
meant
dragon.
to emulate the Eon duo. It's so surprising to me that Togekiss and Latios have never had any kind of connection in the games, considering how similar their designs are. So having this Mega to connect them feels like a natural fit. Also from Bizarre Bunny, we have Mega
Oh, look at that.
Scolipede. I'm just a Scolipede fan, so that's why I chose this one. I was
Oh,
just
yeah,
happy to
same
see
here.
my boy get some representation. Meanwhile, this is just a super epic design in and of itself. It feels like draconic, but also horse-like. It's so interesting, like a horse bug. It feels like it would be the steed of some kind of Skull Knight or Demon Knight to ride into battle. Next from Fakemon, we have Mega Haxorus. This thing puts the axe in
This thing is more joke than Mega, but I still like it.
Haxorus, for sure. Giving it these giant axe blade cheek appendages. I don't even know what to call them. Every part of this Mega looks like it is sharp and wants to cut you, which is especially nice considering it is the Dragon
I'll cut
Steel
you.
type now. I also just
It
love the
will cut you,
username
I said.
Fakemon, Fakemon. I just found that funny. Then from Send It Above, we have Mega Drudagon, just fully
Ooh,
emulating that kind
okay.
of European dragon. It very much feels in line with the dragon that's on the Welsh flag. If we had gotten Megas in Galar instead of G-Max, this definitely would have been in there. One slight critique is that I would change the eye to make it look more like Drudagon's eye, because right now it just kind of feels like a completely different Pokemon's eye. Drudagon's eye has that kind of yellow and with the white to it. This is just kind of all yellow and circular rather than the kind of squared yellow eye
You know what,
that
he's
Drudagon
kind of
has.
right.
After that, from the Panio, we have Mega Feraligatr, which is a fighting water type, not a water fighting type. I maybe would flip those around.
Huh.
Not that it really matters in the end, it's all the same. I
Yeah,
very much
fighting
dig the use of
water
red in this
fighting,
design, kind of using the red scales to emulate like boxing gloves, and then adding these extra spikes to the back, which just feels very Feraligatr to me. Next from Nahida Hamed, we have
Oh.
Mega Skarmory,
Okay.
which is a steel dragon type. This is just Mega Skarmory. Can we agree? This is just Mega Skarmory. This is what it's going to look like. There are just so many simple changes to the design elements of this Pokemon that shift it from bird to dragon, which just feels perfect. After that, we have Mega Cacturne from Feral Dread. This version of Cacturne just kind of feels like a wasteland survivor of sorts, like a cowboy or outlaw,
got that
like in
whip
the
around
Fallout
him.
kind of way. This is the kind of Cacturne you would see after the nuclear apocalypse, for sure. Next from Just a Folk, we have Mega Yan Mega, which is perfect!
Mega Yan
They knew
Mega.
exactly what I wanted when I said that I wanted a concept for Mega Yan Mega, and they freaking delivered. They made it feel like a helicopter without going full helicopter on it, giving it this kind of like helicopter tail and these kind of helicopter arms almost. Its arms, while
Nice.
having helicopters on it, also look like rockets, like jets to help propel it upward, or even propel it forward if it turns its arms backwards. Also from Just a Folk 95, we have Mega Toxicroak. This gives me the
Now
feeling
that I
of like
like.
some kind of supervillain or like an X-Men or something. Which I just looked at the inspirations and it is inspired by Wolverine, so that makes
Of
sense.
course.
Which honestly just
Also, I was thinking it was inspired by like those punk delinquent students you would see in like anime. Damn, that was difficult for my brain to think of.
makes this design all the better. I love the superhero feeling that it has to it. Like having these kind of like poison sacs on its hands that go into its claws, kind of like having a poison tipped claw situation. Also kind of feeling like Vega from Street Fighter. Next from Plug
Yeah,
Hole,
there
who
you
worked
go.
with Trainer Rex, we have Mega Ogerpon. What is
Love
there to
it.
say about this design that it doesn't say for itself? Just fully leaning into the ogre aesthetic and washing away the kind of
She
cutesy
fused
vibe
with
of
the mask.
Ogerpon. Just turning it into the ogre that the citizens of Kitakami thought it was initially. I love that design story for it and just the design in general. Great work. Also from Plub Cole and Trainer Rex, we have Mega Chandelure. This
It's
design,
breaking free.
this
Well,
design
the souls all.
is just so ethereal. Just having all these fiery spirits spewing out of its broken glass mouth and this kind of almost skeletal rib cage coming out from the bottom of it. It very much feels in line with other ghost-type Mega designs like Mega Gengar and Mega Banette. Just a full unleashing of the ghostly might within its body. After that, from Taro Ghost, we have Mega Ditto. This design is such a fun play on the fan.
Oh, look at the tail! It almost looks like it. Oh, yeah, that's what it's trying to emulate DNA, because you know Mew is DNA.
In theory, that Ditto is a failed version of Mewtwo, therefore emulating Mew. So naturally, this Mega is kind of like almost like a bastardization of Mew, while also having elements of Mega Mewtwo Y with this little ring and then kind of the coloration of Mega Mewtwo, or just
Yeah.
plain Mewtwo. I don't know why I specifically specified Mega Mewtwo. Then from Towel Fake Mount,
Oh,
we have
look at this.
Mega Poltegeist. I love this
T40.
design so much. I love Poltegeist. Obviously, I made an entire video about Sinistea and Poltegeist of every type. So clearly, when I
remember.
saw this design, I had to have it in the video. Elevating and growing the kind of teapot that Poltegeist is in, all the while having all these ghastly arms around holding Sinestees? Are you kidding me? This is just it. This is Mega
Are they holding Sinestees, or are they just holding teacups filled with themselves?
Poltegeist. Game Freak.
Just ask
Put
me.
it in the game. Also from Tal, we have Mega Magmortar, which honestly just looks like what Magmortar should have been in the first place. It really takes away the awkward, clunky parts of Magmortar's design and elevates it to an incredible level. Having the pattern on its chest be the kanji for fire was such a stroke of genius. It's also a fire dark type,
good.
which I think is such a good fit onto this design. Also from Tal, we have Mega Rabambi. Tal literally popped off for this challenge, I swear. I quite literally could not decide between these 3 designs to put them in the video. Mega Rabambi is just so adorable and just literally what I would expect. It's so what I would expect of a Mega Rabambi. Its little scarf growing into kind of like the tails of butterfly or moth wings is just so good, while also making the wings a little bit more full, kind of giving them the 2 segments to them. And adding these little pollen puffs to its wrists and ankles is such a nice touch. Just simple design changes that elevate an already incredible design. Then from J Fakemon-san, we have Mega Cyriledge. Cyriledge was already cool and edgy, pun intended, but this takes the cool and the edge factor and turns it up to 11. It very much...
No, you get it, because it's a sword!
It feels like a natural progression for Cyriledge to kind of get bigger swords, have a more spiky, armored appearance. I just really need to see Mega Armarouge, though, if I'm being honest. Then from Lonk Art, we have Mega Victini. Just look at it. It's become
That's all it can do.
Like Psychic Fire Angel. I love it. I don't know how else to describe it.
Truly is
like,
an
the
angel
design
of
speaks for
victory.
itself as how cool it is. I mean, you just look at it. And yet another Mega from Lonk Art, we have Mega Jirachi. Lonk is really doing those mythical psychic types justice here. I like how Jirachi's body is kind of expanded, and then its bottom half is like coming out of a galaxy, but also looks like a dress. It's all very flowy and floaty and spacey, and I just adore it. Those were all from Instagram, so now we're moving on to Twitter with Novablast's Mega Delcatty. Yet again, another one that's just some simple design changes, gave it a second tail, gave it a little additional floof, and then a heart on its head, and it makes all the difference. Plus, honestly, we need to give Delcatty love. Delcatty deserves more love. Speaking of a mon that needs Mega love, we have Mega Frostlass from Sir Dualweird. As many comments pointed out in my Megas We Need video, I forgot Frostlass, which Glalie got a Mega and Frostlass did not. So for those who commented that, here she is. This is what she'd probably look like. I'm also a huge Frostlass fan, so this is just a great Mega design for me personally. Next we have Mega Klotzer from Boreal Mind, and I just, this one's just funny to me.
Of course, it goes from being a lobster to a cannon-wielding lobster to now wielding Rayquaza himself. That is awesome.
I think it's good, but it's also just so hilarious just seeing Klotzer with a big old Mega Rayquaza arm. Like, the design philosophy makes sense. Like, Klotzer already has like kind of a draconic cannon arm, but then just evolve that to be the most powerful dragon of all time. I maybe would have made Klotzer blend in with the coloration there, but besides that, I think this is just an amazing and also hilarious design. After that, from Goompy, we have Mega Musharna. We've worked with Goompy before on this channel, and this Mega design is perfection. Elevating the amount of smoke Musharna gives off while also making it kind of look like a crystal ball. Gigabrain. Just Gigabrain. I also love the pattern along this thing's body, the kind of eye turning into a crescent moon with like almost like a Lunatone look to it because it has that little almost nose poking out. Then we have yet another Mega Poltegeist, this time by Jumpy. What can I say? I'm a sucker for Poltegeist. This design just works so well, though, with its lid turning into this big, gaudy, feathery cap. And its facial expression is just so treacherous, which is perfect for Poltegeist. Those were my favorites of the Mega Bay Challenge, but we have yet another challenge in June for me to talk about.
What is
it? Announcement time. So, the challenge I'm going to be issuing you guys in the month of June is called Rejunal. You guys can submit your ideas for regional forms as well as regional fakes all throughout the month of June. The challenge ends on June 30th, so submit your designs via Instagram or Twitter using the hashtag RegionalMagic. And those 2 platforms only. If you can't post there, well, sorry, I got nothing for you. Once again, the entry limit is 3 designs per artist. So go crazy with it, get creative. Regional forms, regional fakes, aka convergent Pokemon. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with. And with that, thank you all to our wonderful members whose names you can see on screen for supporting the channel with their hard-earned money, which you can do as well by hitting that join button. Make sure to check out all the wonderful artists who participated in this challenge. They will be linked in the description down below. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.
Okay, there we go. Alright, I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all you kids next time when we flick back on. This is Fox, signing out. Peace.